things going on. That's my view. Okay. Councillor Todd?
Yeah, I was basically on the same opinion as Councillor Powell. But reading through the letter from the person who was requesting it, there's a couple of items that item 4, the public will be free to remove any desirable picture or otherwise request a copy, which to me leads me to believe that that telephone box will be kept at lock. The 2 years will now be open 24/7. The other bit that, again, was right at the very end, he was talking about vandalism. He was presuming that the council holds insurance for this box. I could not undertake to be responsible for structural damage, so in other words, we put the bill if there was any done, this ordinance kicked in, etc., etc. So my sentiments go along with Councillor Powell here that it's a telephone box.
Okay. Councillor Morrison, please.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to take the opposite view to that. Was someone somewhere fairly close by they do a book exchange or they hold a telephone box with books?
In weeks.
Weeks.
They turned theirs immediately into a book exchange.
Is it, what's actually in there at the moment?
No.
There's nothing
In
in
our
there.
one,
Yeah.
nothing.
So it's just
Nothing
a
at all.
telephone box?
That's right, even the equipment was removed by BT.
I don't have a problem with it. I think it might be quite nice to try something a little different and see how it goes. So it'd be something else for somebody to look at. It's another attraction, surely.
I had the impression that it was just going to be pictures on the inside facing outwards and people would look at them and it would be closed and locked That's what I thought it was, just literally a picture gallery.
So is it going to be open?
Yeah,
So
it sounds like it's going to be
open.
Well, in his letter, he doesn't say it's going to be closed. It says the public will be free to remove any desirable picture or otherwise request a copy. So to me, it's going to be open.
That wouldn't be on the start. Okay.
Well, is that from the lomography point of view? Because isn't that's slightly different from photography, isn't it?
The style of, sorry, Chair, the style of photography.
Councillor Brown?
I thought when we actually decided to take over from BT for the premises on the wommpomm, that we were going to use the inside for various things. And at the moment, this is the first time there's been a sort of possibility of using it. At the moment, it's basically there for visitors to stand beside the photographer, to get a picture, but of a quaint English postbook, telephone book. But I thought it was originally, going back to when we did take it over, that we would try to use the inside for some sort of exhibition or something beneficial to the town. And evidently the artwork would be done by all local artists, and again it would be, I think it would be a fairly acceptable proposition. The only thing is we would need to go into fine detail regarding whether we are insured and what is the situation regarding having it opened or whether it's sealed and people can contact for the pictures they want rather than leaving it open.
These would be the conditions.
Yes, I think we would have to make sure there were sensible conditions put on.
No, I was just going to say, I can see no problem with it as long as whoever places those, whatever they're going to put in there, is actually, after they're put in there, it's locked up afterwards, because people will have to get in there and damage it. It's not actually
Sorry.
My only concern, listening to what's been said this evening, going to put photography art facing outwards, it's going to be locked. But for the government, you know what people are like, and youth are like, they're going to smash it and they're going to be afraid to come place windows. And I'm concerned with letting the use of something like that.
It's a shame we've always got that in the back of our mind, because anything we do is subject to vandalism. Sometimes you've just got to take a chance on them, but Councillor Carter.
I have to say, instinctively, I think I prefer it as it is. It's a feature in the sense that its actual social history in its own form. And I believe that's why we actually took it over in the first place, to make sure that one traditional red telephone box remained within Harwich. But, sorry, you'll have to forgive me on this. Has this item come directly on the full council agenda, or has it been referred from FGP?
No, it's come directly.
Because in that being the case, because it's clear that we are uncertain as to exactly what is proposed and on what terms. So that being the case, I don't really believe we're in a position to make a decision on this anyway. And for that reason, I propose that it's actually referred to FGP for further investigation.
Members are happy with that, and that might be the way forward, if nothing else. Okay. We'll agree on that then, Nick? Okay, that's more than carried out. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Okay, item 10 then is the World War I Working Party to reconstitute the Working Party. Councillor Carter?
Yeah, if I may, Chair. Obviously, we set this working party up, stating the obvious if I said a few years back. Obviously, we're now in a situation where we had an election, we've had a different makeup on the council. The working party as it stood consisted of Robert Day in his role as chairman of Finance and General Purposes, Maria Fowler, Charlie Powell, Malcolm Nicholson, John Thurlow and myself. Obviously, 3 of those councillors are no longer members of this council. May I propose that Pam Morrison comes onto the working party as the chair of Finance and General Purposes to replace Robert Day, who was there in that role. That the 3 members who were previously on the committee, i.e. Charlie Powell, Maria Fowler and myself, remain on there for continuity purposes, and that we ask 2 of our newly elected colleagues to, if they would be willing to take up the positions vacated by the 2 previous members who are no longer members of this council.
Over to the... can I put my name forward for that? Yes, yeah, they're handy.
Pardon? Dennis.
Dennis, sorry.
And he's
One other.
one with the Scotch accent.
Who left?
Who left?
Said the clerk.
And I gave you permission.
One more volunteer? Yes? And Simon. Yes. You've got your 2, Gary?
Well, I haven't got the 2, it's the council's working party.
Okay, well
That's my proposal then.
Okay. Right, well that's, I can say carried. You've got your working party. Everybody's happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay? Thank you. Item 11 then is the tourism workshop briefing. Just a report back from Councillor Ivan Anderson. Thank you.
Just to bring the council up to date, they will remember some of the new members were there as well. On the 19th of May, I thought we had a really good, successful workshop with the hospitality of the here hotel, and we had various groups in, a wide range of groups in, to talk about future tourism and how we promote Harwich as a more or less as a brand, and where we go from here, because as you know we've already took certain steps. We've got now got our own local brochure map. We've got our wayfinder maps around the town. There's various things been happening, so we're now going to the next step. And the outcome of that meeting was, after hearing everyone, was to actually set up a steering group to take things forward, but to be led by the private sector, that's supported by the public sector. So we're pleased to say that Paul Milson from the Pier Hotel is actually going to chair this group going. We had our first meeting today at lunchtime, Councillor Howell, who was one of the members at the workshop, put his name forward to be part of that steering group. And I'm sure he'll tell you how positive that was. There was about 12 of us, I think, around the table, again from various organisations, whether they be voluntary sector, public sector or private sector, all there. And like I said, it was very positive, and we will be now moving on to the next steps of looking at an overall brand message for Harwich, what Harwich is about, and bringing in perhaps commission some people to come in to actually tell us how we should be taking and selling this brand which Harwich offers outside the area, including obviously the historic parts of Old Harwich, but also the seaside, the lovely beach and Blue Flag Beach, because we tend to forget about when we're going outside Harwich, mentioning that quite often, that we have also got a really lovely seafront and a lovely beach. That came out in the meeting, that we need to find a way that our messages encompass all of the really good things there are to offer. And the second phase of that will be they'll be looking at promotional short films, very short, sort of a couple of minutes, 2 minutes, but these sort of advert films, which we're hoping will be ready for next year. The film has already started. We wanted to start it early because of the Harwich Festival, to clock that. We've got the Sea Festival this weekend. So that film has already started to take place, and the people who are doing that will come back to us later on in the year and show us where they are. And also on that is how that film, that adverts are promoted beyond Harwich, what sources we use, what social media or whatever, what websites we use for the future. And also then there'll be a look at a possible bringing together a core website. So someone's got to have a look around at that, because at the moment there's several websites advertising what's good about Harwich, but there are several, you can key it, and there is lots. It would be good to actually bring one together that's got that that brand and that initial advert for Harwich. But it's also for trying to find out something that all the businesses and the restaurants, the hotels and everyone else associated with the area can actually hang their hat on as the brand, that you could actually talk about why you should come to Harwich, what exists and what there is to actually enjoy and take part in. So it's been really useful. It's moving on. First meeting, we're hoping it's going to move very quick. It's very, very positive. The Mayflower project are involved in that. I think the Mayor's going to talk about something earlier, but we've already had discussions with the Mayflower project about, we've got the Mayflower project, and that is the main thing obviously for the celebrations of 2020, the 400 years. But why do we stop just at that? Because really, Harwich has got more information to offer about the Mayflower and the history of the Mayflower. So why don't we start before 220? Why don't we start years before, start having events and plan a festival wide for the whole of Harwich on what we could do to actually celebrate that 220 event. So the message out there is there business, public sector, voluntary sector, everyone's come together to actually work together to try and make sure we get the best out of Harwich, and we obviously boost the economy and growth for Harwich for the future the best we possibly can. I don't know if Charlie's got anything.
No, I found it really good, really enthusiastic there. We just had people from all sorts. They all had good input. And I think the idea of the brand and them come together under one website would be great, because you just go to Harwich and go straight down on the website, and you've got all your branches will follow. It'll be fantastic.
It's looking really good, isn't it, as far as
It is, yeah, very good.
coming together. It's all about united.
Which website do you have?
There is one other part of that chair is We are moving also quite quickly now because, as you know, we managed to make sure we had some money for the first roundabout to be designed, which is the blue roundabout at the Morrison's area. I've seen the initial designs, and we had some designs a few months ago which were not what we would have wanted. These latest designs look really good, and again they bring out what Harwich is about, and that's what we need. Sort of when people come off that ship or are going to that ship, there's a story starts to be told about Harwich, and people might say, oh, they're just roundabouts, but they're not. Visitors or local people, they've got to feel proud of where they live, and if we can start making those roundabouts say something about the quality of the area and to visitors as well, they're going to actually go beyond that and start venturing into other areas, hopefully, rather than just go down and sit at a ship or in a line in a queue of passenger cars to go on a ship. They might stray off and have a couple of 2 or 3 hours here. So there's some really good stuff going on.
Thank you, Ryan. Charlie?
One other thing I thought was important, they're really going to go to town on the signage, make the signs a lot better. Instead of having loads and loads of signs all telling different things, there'll be key signs. Yeah, that'd be really good.
Any other comments? Okay, thank you for that, Councillor Henderson. Item 12 then is the use of the Guildhall chamber, to consider granting free use of the chamber for the period of July 2015 to April 2016 for the crime prevention panel monthly meetings.
So moved.
So moved, thank you, seconder. Yeah. Those in favour, Charlotte? Otherwise they'll break it into Okay, some 13 historic carriage area, parking issues. I think we've got some members of the public waiting for this one. To discuss ongoing parking issues within Old Harwich and consider appropriate course of action. Councillor Henderson.
Yes, listen now. I did originally put this on the agenda because there are a few residents are finding it very hard. I mean, the good news story is when you come here and there's events going on and you see all the cars parked and the people about, I mean, it's got to give anyone a buzz to say, well, look, people are coming and enjoying what's on offer here. But there is the other side of that residents are suffering because of the shortage of public car parking spaces available in the Harwich area. And I think you certainly do need to look at that. But there's something else come up, and I know there's some fishermen in here now, and I think there's been a problem along the front with penalty notices being issued and bits of disagreements going on between people along there about spaces available. Now, I was already working on that because someone had asked me to. I haven't. There was some rumours going around that I'd already got action taken against people on the fee. I can assure you and guarantee you I had done nothing until I heard your penalty. You got your penalties. So I got contacted Tenbury District Council, and there was another councillor, not me, who actually started the ball rolling regarding concerns about what was happening on the quay front there about fishermen parking with permits and others and taking up spaces on the front. So I contacted a Tenbury District Council officer, Nikki Neekin, who's funny enough just given me the response today that she's tried to get to the bottom of what's going on, that she had an email from the portfolio holder, Nick Turner, because he'd been contacted by another councillor, not me, trying to get things sorted. And she said this, so you can have a copy of this. She said this: further to our telephone conversation on Monday, we have investigated the issues with local groups and the North Essex Parking Partnership, and would like to provide the following information for your reference. The RNLI have parking permits which are valid in King's Quay Street. Only the RNLI are issued with the permits for this area, and anyone else parking there runs the risk of receiving a penalty charge notice from the NEPP, the partnership. These are not valid on the quayside pay and display areas. Tendriff District Council also give permission for up to 2 vehicles to park on the right-hand side of our parking bays where the curb has been dropped during emergencies, that's for the RMI. Both TDC and the NEPP agree that when crew are on an emergency call-out, they may park in any available pay and display parking bays, but those bays should not be used for general parking other times. So there is no problem with them going there. Nobody's saying they're going to get tickets as long as they show the displays on their screens that they're at a shout. The Harwich Fishermen Association have been issued with permits by NEPP for the quay, pay and display area. These permits are to allow loading and unloading only and are not to be used for general parking throughout the day. Please let me know if you require any further information. So, and I think Councillor Todd might come in because he worked really hard on this to make sure that our fishermen did have provision for them to park and unload your catches and stuff. And I also had a response from the Secretary of the Fishermen's Association today on his concern about the issue. And it's just a pity that that councillor who did email the portfolio holder and go right across what I was doing, because I would rather come up with a solution rather than have what's happened now and people arguing, because they are 2 businesses. The fishermen are a business, and there is another business on the quay there that wants to earn obviously their living as well. But as the Fishermen's Association Secretary of Fishermen, people also like to come and watch our fishermen unload and go in and out on their boats. So there is an added tourism issue there as well, because people do like to come and watch that. I can remember when I was young, we used to go and stand on there watching all the fishing boats unload when they were doing the sprats. Yeah. And we'd be waiting for a bag of sprats, a spare bag of sprats to take over.
Now you call them trees.
So I think there's an issue where we need to make sure that we've all got to earn a living and we can sort this out, I think, amicably. And I think it's going to be sorted out that way. But the problem is, and I think it's been recognised by the Fishermen's Association, that there are 1 or 2 who are using those bays and leaving their vans there all day. And that's spoiling it for the rest.
Could I just say something about that?
I don't know if the chair will allow you to do that.
Is it directly an answer?
That's to do with that, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Stephen Powell's fisherman, Harwich. When you done your quay front, that was very pretty, looks very nice. But every street in Harwich has got a yellow line. Where do we park? We don't want to park outside anyone's houses. We work on the quay. I've worked on the quay for 40 years. But where do I park?
So sorry, can you?
Yes, hopefully I can enlighten, because I can move further on from what Councillor Henderson said. I initiated for the fishermen, worked on it hard to get it, and sure you won't lose it. But they're quite right what they're saying. Once those pay and display, you can go in there, but only while you load and unload your catch.
Yeah.
As you know, the loading bay that they put on the town hall, the ex-town hall side, wasn't the side that I asked it to be on, because you've got to take your fish across the road. But following on from the email that Councillor Henderson, I was concerned because I knew what the original agreement was for the 2 bays at the end of Trinity Pier and the 2 bays at the end of West Street. They're the yellow line, they're yours. Then what the email, when I said to Nikki, many thanks for your email, it does clarify the situation somewhat, but it makes no mention of the 2 bays at West Street end of Trinity Pier, or the 2 bays at the eastern side of the end of West Street, which I spoke to previously. This is her reply, you have a copy of this. The time-limited bays in West Street remain unrestricted from 6 p.m. until 8 a.m. to facilitate the parking of the fishermen overnight or early in the morning. I am assured by the NEPP that the 2 bays at the end of West Street on the eastern side remain unrestricted for use by the fishermen, although I appreciate that you mentioned some of the Trinity House staff have been known to utilise these. So, where the yellow, what I hope we can achieve when I go back to these is to mark it in some way, permit holders only, or to clarify those 2 bays. I know what they're talking about, I can point them out to you. They're not the original 2 bays that I wanted. There's the recess one was what I was looking for. I'm still hoping to get them. But you've got those 4 bays that you can use all the time.
Lovely. Thank you, Mr. Tubb.
Right?
So, thumbs up on them.
And then
As you say, thank you,
to finish this, because it's been said about, you're right, about not being able to park anywhere, and that's the big problem. Originally there was supposed to be the Gashouse Creek, and we know the whole story. I'm not going to go back over that. The Gashouse Creek was supposed to be there for additional parking for people to come and enjoy it and visit Harwich. We lost that, and it's there for employment. I hope it gets employment, but it's sitting there empty still. It's had loads of promises of hundreds of jobs, but it's sitting there and it's wasted. As a pity we just can't open it up and use it as a temporary area to actually alleviate some of the congestion and the problems around the streets that residents are suffering. The message I've got is that what I would like to do as district councillor is call a meeting with Nikki or Ian Taylor and bring you guys in, or bring Trevor in, and Jackie, who's got and see if we can sit round the table and come up with a solution. But also we need to come up with a solution about the overall parking issue around Old Harwich, because we do need to, if we're talking about all this promotional stuff, if we're talking about Harwich growing in the area that we're talking about tourism, we're going to have to find another parking area somewhere.
Or you see, we go at 4 in the morning sometimes and don't get home till 4 in the afternoon. That's a lot of the problem. The lights are out wherever we put our van, and where do you put it to be safe all that time?
If the council agree that, I'll take that the way forward, and I'll do that as the district council for the ward, and bring all the groups together and try and find a solution, rather than this, like I said, someone just flying off an email and causing a problem. That's probably
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. Good. Can we go now? Yeah.
Yeah.
really.
We go fishing now. Thanks very much.
Leave your bag of scraps out on you.
Thanks a lot.
Chair.
Okay, Councillor Conrad.
Yeah, through you for my cards. I take it from, also I know how careful you are being and what you're saying and what you're not saying. I take it that the issuing of fixed penalty notices was inappropriate?
I'm not sure if that was inappropriate. I think there's been a misunderstanding on all sides of how long with those notices they couldn't park there. Right. I think
and did
those should have moved.
Okay, and did the issuing of those notices originate from what you are describing as the inappropriate intervention of another councillor?
I can't say that for definite, but a councillor went to the portfolio holder, Nick Turner, and Nick Turner started the ball rolling without me knowing as a ward councillor, and possibly without any other ward councillor. Now I think that's just, good manners. I really do think it's good manners, whatever politics you're in. and whatever group you're in, is to actually let the ward councillor know what you're doing. So, you know, and then you don't get this shock of what's happened, of people getting these fixed panels. You could have stepped in and possibly stopped this from happening.
If I may be clear, what I'm leading up to, what I've had to do in stages, is in effect then by that, shall we say, hindrance being removed, and you taking positive action, I take it that misunderstanding will not reoccur.
I believe from Nikki's comments that the ones with the permit holders will be now written to and told exactly how they stand and what they can and can't do on that section of the road. So they will be told, and then if they ignore that, then we can't push anything about that. They will be told that once they've actually carried out whatever they need to do, they need to move their vehicle rather than leave it in that same place all day. And it was said, and it's been admitted, that there were people who were perhaps not fishermen actually leaving their vans there for a fair while.
But again, I say through the chair, I have to say I think your positive and reasonable approach, I have to say I think it's got more chance of providing a long-term solution than the sledgehammer approach that appears to have been attempted. So
I think so. I think we'd have probably had tonight some angry people.
Yeah.
And it's been dealt with in a better way, really. Because they were angry.
Sorry, Chair, I was just going to beg forgiveness. I'm afraid Nature's calling for the last half an hour. I'm only human.
Nature's calling.
Nature's calling. I need to excuse myself.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it's just it's on the council. We have got a problem with parking in our block. We need to deal with that, really. We need to find some space.
Okay, everybody happy with that then? That's resolved, there's nothing else here. Okay. Item 14 then is Putting Green relaunch, to consider holding an open day on the 15th of August and to offer free use of all on-site facilities to a maximum of 30 minutes play, and to decide who will be available to attend on the day. Councillor Powell?
Yeah. Work at Putting Green is now moving on really quick. That we are looking at having a launch to reopen it officially. It's been open for the last few weeks, but we want to do it properly. I'll read this out. We, the members of the Working Party, have asked the E&C committee, and they have agreed that we would be asked, this full council, if they could propose that we hold a launch day on August 15th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to celebrate the opening of the new information and outdoor leisure office shed, whatever you want to call it. Phase 1 of the Putting Green project. Basically, we're looking at the 15th of August, 10 till 4, as an open day. We would also like to propose that this day be a free to use day, up to 30 minutes of play only at a time. That's all the facilities, and we would like the council to take the cost of that. So everybody comes there can have 30 minutes on everything that's there to try and encourage more people to use it. We understand and hope that we could have a lot of takers, and the cost of more than one assistant would be too much for this council. So some of the councillors have offered their help and free of charge. So if any councillor wants to come down on the day and help, if a really big crowd, they'll just short term and show them how to short. It will mean then we can run it with just the one normal system. I, as chair of the Putting Green Working Party, would also like to propose that we ask Sally Looker, ex-TDC officer, now retired, to open the information office on behalf of the Harwich Town Council. As Sally did more than she was asked to in the helping of this council to get the project completed before she retired from TDC. That's my proposal.
Councillor Morris?
I would be delighted to second that, and especially the very local. I think that's a lovely touch, and I would most definitely come down and spend some time. It often my time all day. I think it's a lovely idea.
I think perhaps Councillor would do want to volunteer for that take and get in touch with Councillor Powell, and then we can make a brochure or something perhaps on that.
Well, if somebody's not there for an hour or so, you know, just to stand here on.
But the proposal mainly is to allow that to go on. So we've got a second
Yes.
proposal and a second that. Those in favour, please.
Can I just add, don't forget, we would need to press release that. wouldn't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's all, that's it. We need to get through here tonight, and then it can start
Yeah.
that procedure.
Okay,
Yeah, it's all in hand.
try again. Those in favour, please show. Those against? No one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's confused. Right, moving on to
Mr. Mayor.
item 16.
Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Carr.
Yeah, sorry, just before we leave that, I think we also should register our thanks to Charlie, to Peter, and of course, we are back on the vagaries of election again, to the Robert Day,
Yes.
Yes.
all of whom put an awful lot into getting us to where we are now. And, I think we should be called up thanks to all of them.
Looks very good.
Be in touch in a second. Thank you.
Sorry, and Michelle, yes, make a good point, I do apologise. Yeah, sorry.
Anybody else, please?
Terrible oversight, I do apologise.
Working party. Okay, thank you for that.
Can I just,
Little one.
one quick one. The signs are being made up as the work party group and DC. They should be attached, I think, in the next week. I had a word with the Harwich Society, Colin, and they're going to see if they're going to put some flowers in that, two little flower beds before the open day. You can see if you can do that for us. Okay?
Okay. Well, item 16 then is lease renewals to resolve to sign and seal renewal leases for the tenants of buildings 1, 3 and 5 of the former Hill School site. Got a mover on that?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay, Councillor Powell, Councillor Morrison. Those in favour, please show. It's carried, thank you. Item 17 then is the community warden to consider requesting the services of the community warden for East Wall from Tendring District Council. Councillor Smith.
Yep, okay. Since I added this item to the agenda, I haven't been in touch with Adam Coldrick, who is now a community warden. He informed me that they do provide a service for Harwich and Dovercourt. These include support the local community, looking for any evidence of fly tipping, bin bags that are left out early, and minor antisocial behaviour. They also provide a seafront patrol, but this seafront patrol is usually carried out on a Thursday and Friday, and most of that time is spent in Clapton and Jaywick. I would like to propose we write to TDC to determine the number of hours spent in Dovercourt and Harwich performing these duties.
That's a straightforward proposal. Is there a second? Comment? Yes, second, Councillor Powell. Any other comments with regards to making that inquiry? Right, those in favour, please show. That's carried, thank you. Item 18 then is minutes of the last Environment Community Committee meeting to receive the minutes of the Environmental Committee Committee held on the 19th of June. Councillor Powell.
Thank you, Chair. Held on the 16th of June. I'll do it right, Dave. The Chair, please. 16th of June.
16th of June, yeah.
I said it's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Okay, here we go. I'll keep it a little bit brief as we're getting on. Item E0150 to 303. Get your glasses on.
Yeah, I'll follow these.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all right, it's okay. I haven't got used to the right angle of the dangle. Right, I'll start here. Right, okay. 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09. Anybody stop me if you want it to go over something. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
I'll report. The second, please. Councillor Farr. Those in favour, please show. Thank you. Thank you for your report. Right, we have the minutes of the last, or 19, minutes of the last, committee meeting. Councillor Todd.
I thought you were going to stand it. Yeah.
You notice it's the men who are fading fast, don't you?
Councillor Todd.
Is he ready? Yeah, he's ready.
Ah, dear.
Thank you, Chair. I'll read as brief as I can. So we go A01/15 right through to A18/15.
Seconder. Thank you, Councillor Anderson. Those in favour, please show. Thank you for your report. Item 20 then is the council receive the financial report and approve accounts for payment as per the schedule. We'll have that. Any comments or questions? No? Okay, can we have them please? Councillor Ross?
No.
Oh, not?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Seconder? Thank you. All those in favour, show. Okay, 21 is brief report by members appointed to outside bodies by the council. Have we any? Councillor Fowler?
Okay, I attended the Harwich Conservation Council meeting on the 16th of July, which was the AGM. There's nothing that we didn't know, we weren't aware of already. The Royal British Legion services have not sent any correspondence regarding meeting dates yet. Neither have the Harwich District Community Association. So there's no update on those two. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Anderson?
I attended Team Talks meeting on Monday. It was quite nice because it was actually held in their newly refurbished committee room. They're just waiting on, obviously, the furniture for it inside. There was a slight overspend on work that needed to be done. But the funding is in hand, so they should be getting their furniture very shortly, which is good because it will be opened up to use for local community groups. Obviously the ratio has to be, there's a certain ratio of all groups can use it, but it has to be obviously targeted at that younger age, but there is still scope for obviously anyone to use it. It's a lovely room, really bright and airy. They've actually now got access via a metal staircase, so the stairs aren't so steep to come down, or if people are disabled they can access it from the back, which is round by the entrance in between the Cliff Hotel and the Gables. So it's going to be a fantastic, another little venue if there's small groups that need it. And it's, you know, it carries on with the really good work they're doing. They've had a slight refurbishment inside and it's looking really fresh and bright. To hopefully carry on the good work that they're still doing. So that's really good to see.
Progression, isn't it? Councillor Todd?
Yeah, unfortunately I couldn't attend the Merchant Navy Welfare Board meeting at Felixstowe, but I contacted the secretary to pass, she would pass the information on to the group. The Harwich Town Council had agreed to supply the shuttle bus again for the cruise ship. But bear with me, I think the council would be interested in that. Andy Rush, the MSA guy, was there, but unfortunately I couldn't get to grill him. But I actually asked him how many, with the sulphur emissions, I asked him how many vessels had actually came in to the port from the 1st of January to the 30th of June. And the issue the reply that I got back from was between January and March, no vessels were inspected. Between January and the end of June, 36 vessels were inspected, sea-going vessels that is. And that's Harwich, Ipswich, Felixstowe, Mislead. This is the law. But only on-board paperwork was done because they've got no facilities available to Chesterfield until 2016.
Wow.
Anyway, that's all my report.
Yeah, well done, mate.
We've lost one ferry from the fear of that as well, haven't we?
I've asked our local MP to go on to the Department of Transport for their reply.
Mr. Bell?
Yeah, Harwich Festival, we've got a review meeting next week, so I'll report back to the next council meeting for that. So we should find out how they've done with their short on craft this year.
I think it would be nice to to send back a message of congratulations.
Yeah.
If not from me, but hopefully from everybody. I don't know how many people actually went to the various things that went on, but there's so many and so varied, and totally enjoyable. So,
It's unfortunate 10 district council don't support it.
Is that it? Any other reports, Councillor Shaw?
Just a brief report. There's due to be another meeting in September, which the date is to be advised on. Attended a meeting with the Essex area bus review team on the 1st of July. Although it was quiet in the morning, I was only myself there with the team. It was a better turnout in the afternoon with the public responses. But on the back of the reviews that they had back from the public that came in, they are due to re-look at the services around Dover Court, especially in the afternoon into parks and areas. They're going to add these 2 more services back on. They hope they're going to put their all proposals on the back of the comments from the public. They've got to be submitted by September, and then they'll have another meeting after that with the proposals, so we can go over them again and make sure they're all accurate. And then by April next year, anything that is agreed on should be improved.
So it sounds like they're going to improve the service.
They should be improving the services locally around Harwich.
Well, I know if they cut it short like they did, I just don't know.
I'll have more information after this another meeting in September. I'll be able to confirm that they will actually add it on.
I'm just going to do a very quick report with regards to the launch, the official Mayflower launch of the Mayflower 400. What it is, there was 80 guests at a medieval evening, and principally during the day there were meetings of so many different destinations with regards to the history of the Mayflower. In other words, all the ports and all the towns where the pilgrims came from originally, etc., etc. Those meetings went on during the day. In the evening, I was there to represent Harwich with regards to being one of the destinations, as you'll appreciate, where the involvement of Harwich. This was how important the Gainsborough, it's on the front page of their Echo. So it just sort of relates the importance to not only the inland towns, where the pilgrims, some of them originated from, but from all over the country where they came together at this particular hall, which is a historically, I don't know if you like to pass that around, but what a fantastic asset Gainsborough have got with regards to that hall. The other thing is that on accepting the invitation, I also accepted the fact that we've got what they call a compact, and I did send out an email late today and explaining what a compact is. It's like a contract, but it's called a compact because it was made by civilians or something on board the ship. It was an agreement to set up a society that would obey the law, and that they needed, the pilgrims really wanted to get out of this country to go and set up a new settlement and have their own society. So they drew up a list of the good things that they needed to do to run a decent society. So it's quite a complicated thing. There's 2 messages about the resilience of these people going in a ship across, how many thousand miles is it? Wow, what an adventure. And I want to must have punishment. I'll just read you these two little paragraphs from the invitation to the Mayflower 400 official launch. The sailing of the Mayflower from the UK was the beginning of a special relationship between the UK and USA, one of the most enduring alliances the world has ever known. The launch marks the beginning of an exciting 5-year period which will see destinations from across the UK, USA and Holland work together to educate the wider public about the story, whilst creating and building upon tourism opportunities as we encourage individuals and groups to visit the locations which form the story of the Mayflower pilgrims. So you're looking at, this has gone not only countrywide, it's gone global. So we need to really back up the project as a whole. In 2020, that's when there will be hopefully big celebrations and etc., etc. But we've got from now and for the next 5 years to actually cash in. And when I say cash in, get the message out there that Harwich was a principal port and a principal place where the Mayflower history is there, as you all know. So I really hope that everybody takes it out there that the Mayflower project needs to be ongoing and supported fully. No matter what, we need to get that tourism on a roll, and we need to do all the things that's necessary when and where we can to make it work. So I'll just keep it short and sweet, but it's so important, this project. It's going to run for years, and we need to cash in on it. And I think what Ivan said about the tourism group and that, it is central to a lot of things to make it work. So we're just lack on that. We need the tourism. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Okay, I hope that's sort of good news, honestly, because even the Dutch were there was an American there, there was a talk on the different things, and the message is clear. Together, this can work, and working together is the way ahead. So thank you for that. That concludes the brief reports. Thank you.
Sorry, is that brief reports? Is that 21 we're still on, or we've gone to 22?
21, yes, please.
Sorry, okay, so I'll do mine in 22. Mine in 22, must I do
right. Okay, item 22 is correspondence received in the post or raised by members. To no correspondence from Councillor Erskine regarding litter on the A120 and the intended action.
He's left.
Unfortunately.
Has he gone along the A120?
No, he's not on the 120.
Okay, I can't really sort of much.
I hope he has a furnace report at the window halfway A120.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I should be making this report, I'm not, so I apologise, Chair. Just really to say on behalf of, to mention how wonderful stairlift is now in the Guildhall, which is definitely worth a mention. And again, as we said previously, a lot of the work with that, we've had a change of councillors. A lot of that work was done by Robert Day, so I'd like to acknowledge that. A lot of work by Peter, our estates manager. I've done some of the work, but nowhere near as much as the others. And obviously, Lucy and Michelle have also had a good hand in that. It would be lovely to get back to using the Guildhall for its proper purpose of having our meetings there, and so that's just that. It's been a long time coming, and it's.
Now I've forgotten my report. We'll just come back on it, but this was the presentation given to me at the presentation, shall I say there, and on there is the original compact made by the pilgrims on board the ship. It's not it's a copy of the original. But that's the idea is everybody gets together and appreciates just what went on the journey and what it was all set up and why they did it in the first place. I think it's so important to get that message across, why they did it in the first place. But if you'd have been there, you would have appreciated, well, I certainly appreciate the medieval ballet. Oh, you are joking? I mean, that was old, the stuff, certainly. It wasn't out of date, it was just old stuff. Anyway, but that's it. I'm going to give this to the archivist to lodge in our archives. So if you're happy with that, I'll do just that. But if anybody wants to read it, I'll leave it over where Chad is over there on the press desk. And all the people that are involved, the principal points, have all signed their pledge on that they will all work together to aim to make this the biggest tourism attraction this country's ever seen. Possibly. Or we hope. It's up to us. Okay, so I'll leave it over there. And you can have a look at that. That's quite a precious little thing. No? Well, a bit of staining. Right, okay, item 20.
No, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Councillor Carter.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this has got a bit muddled because, well, to be honest, you interrupted Councillor Morrison. Can we come back to the stair lift, please?
By all means, because that's so important.
Yeah. Have the other pieces been, because we need evac chair, new...
Doorbells?
Yes, exactly, except it's all that in hand, isn't it?
Yes, it is in hand, isn't it?
Everything's been ordered, I think apart from the bell, but the push buttons have. We've ordered an evac chair and a wheelchair.
And do we know timescale?
Within days, yeah. They all come within sort of either next day. In fact, I took receipt of something today, I think it's the push buttons. But yeah, within a day or two.
Wow.
That's absolutely fine. And may I just say that I was at a meeting with Lucy and Pam at Guildhall the other day, and having gone up the stairs, and of course I've been coming down, and sort of thought, well, hang on, we've got our new stair lift here. And I couldn't find it. So the point I'm making, it tucks in so, it is so compact, it is so unobtrusive. It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? The manner in which it's been done.
Yes.
So it's having no negative impact on the building, but it's going to have a very positive impact on Harwich Town Council.
And the acoustics are down to a bit of this place. I have a job hearing quite, it's not just in my ears.
We hear you all right.
Yeah, I'm getting on a bit now. The old grey hairs and all that. Okay, we're down to 22 now. He's gone, but the other thing, did it to be raised by a member? Anybody got anything? I have actually, but I'll wait for anybody else to know. I dare say you've seen some correspondence with regards to an ex-resident here, Roy Salvadori, who used to be a racing driver of some renown, and the question was asked whether we make any sort of a recognition of him. I can either sort of pass it perhaps on to one of the committees or to have a little discussion on and see if there is a way we can recognise him or not. I think that, what do you think? Councillor Carlin?
I must admit, I got the wife to Google him, and yeah, I mean, in fairness, whilst the only thing we certain of is that he was born here, I don't know how long he actually lived here, but he was certainly born here, and he certainly won the Le Mans 24-hour, which is a truly remarkable achievement. I think it is worthy of further investigation, and on that basis I'm wondering if we could possibly refer this to our archivists to find out exactly what we can find out about the Harwich connection, and in particular if we can actually find out an address at which he was born, because the chances are it was actually in a dwelling in Harwich, so it may be possible to find out the location, which would be very useful.
So we'll refer it to the archivist for further information?
I think that would be a good starting point.
Leslie's got some information.
I have actually contacted the archivist and they've said that they don't have any information on births at all, so they wouldn't be able to confirm an address that he would have been born at, and have referred us either to the Essex Record Office or any of these sort of family websites where you can start looking back over your family history.
Because I believe we've actually got the date of birth, haven't we?
22, I think it was.
Did the address of a birth actually feature on the birth certificate in those days?
Did a my father's 1914.
So the chances are, if we can actually locate the birth certificate, we could actually find out the address.
Yeah, one of the sort of like church records might possibly be another way of finding it.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a thought, anyway, we were asked and we looked at it, and if you want us to delve a bit further, where do we need to go? Do you leave? No? Anybody want to sort of dig it out at all? Well, we can ask the clerk to delve a little bit further if you wish.
I think it's worth it.
Do we agree in principle? We're trying to pick something up. Yeah?
I think someone from the Essex Records Office I think someone from the Essex Records Office actually lives in Harwich.
Who does?
Someone who's involved in the Essex Records Office.
Oh,
I think
right,
they actually
okay.
live in Harwich.
Yeah.
I think
Well, that's what they suggested. Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about the Essex Records Office, I have to confess, or where to start.
Well, I suppose we can write to them, don't we?
Sorry, I was chatting.
They can write to the Essex Records Office.
Well, that's in the standard.
And I was currently one with a marking and asked the car people down there.
I think a letter to the Essex Records Office.
Agree, everyone? Yeah. Okay, carry on with the investigation. Okay, the other thing I've got is we've got something through on the email with regards to Council of the Year. Just looking back as a councillor, the last 4 years, etc., and especially the last year, I think quite honestly, I would recommend or ask Council to consider what's up for Council of the Year. I think when you work out what we've achieved in the last year, especially the last year, it's all come together, including the airlift and the putting green. It's all hard work, and it's all down to a team that work together to get it all done. And I think we've got a flag to wave in a certain respect. Sometimes you get these people that do have a little go, but at the same time, we've done as much as we can with the criteria we work to, or can work to. And I just sort of ask that, would you sort of consider at least putting us forward with regards to an application? It's only write an application out and we'll be popular with those other councils, but I think we've achieved so much in the last year or two, or going back a few years if you come to that. I think we deserve some sort of recognition of what service we've done. Councillor Maria.
Thank you, Chair. Have you actually seen the application form?
Yes.
Exhibit A.
Is it for the prosecution or the defence?
Well, when you actually go through it, it's not that bad. I can only say no, but I think we should at least have a go.
That is that you volunteering.
Yeah, I don't mind. I think, my personal opinion is there's a lot of people who work really hard to achieve things, and a lot of them have been achieved. And we're getting back to the Guildhall coming out now, you know, what a fantastic job that we've done, and had all the, how can I say, the rigmarole we've been through to get this one done, but we've got it done.
I propose you do it, Dave. Yeah, we'll
so
support.
if you're happy with that, I don't think we've got anything to lose, but a lot to gain. Okay? Councillor Carver and Councillor Morrison.
I have to say, Mr Mayor, I absolutely applaud your passion and your pride in Harwich Town Council, and I hope we all share that.
Yeah.
I'm personally uncomfortable with it. I think we do, to be honest, what we are elected to do. We choose to seek election, we choose to serve. I think doing that to the best of our ability is no more than everyone would expect of us. And I'm personally uncomfortable with it.
Okay, that's a motion.
Actually, that Gary's put it better than I would put it.
Well, that's opinions, I don't know.
Well, I actually think the reserves, I think we have got a lot to lose, because if we don't get it, we'll then be accused of that we're not good enough.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, we know what we're doing. I think that's the most important part. And we know we're doing all we can, all we can. And I think we should be happy with the results and the achievements that we're achieving. Why do we need a certificate to prove that? And like I said, the problem is it ends up in a negative story, because when you don't get it, people then also point the finger and say, you as a council obviously aren't doing good enough, but I think we are doing good enough, but why put ourselves through it? And then for a competition, let people win it. You know,
Can I withdraw my proposal?
I'll get the feeling, okay, from a personal point of view, I appreciate those people with the hats, I know what hats they've got on, for doing all the work to achieve so much faster and so much better. Because I feel that we deserve some sort of merit, and if it comes just from me, then so be it. That's it? Okay, Councillor Morrison.
Yeah. All I would say is I don't really think it's something that we would do for ourselves. Anyway, if somebody wanted to do it for us, they would do it. Member of the public. I don't think it's probably appropriate that we would do it. I would feel totally uncomfortable with it anyway, so I agree with Gary said. I don't think it's not our place to do it anyway, I don't think.
That's the feelings of Councillor Westmont. Okay. Right, where are we then? Item 23 then is the date of the next meeting. The next meeting of Harwich Town Council will be held on Wednesday, the 2nd of September at the... We're
going home.
We're going home, and it's on Wednesday. Remember in the old days we used to have on a Tuesday.
If you want to see parking, go down into the road. It's full of caravans. I don't know whether they're travellers or what, but I've never changed the Wellington Road car park many times. Cars put cars there. It's full, absolutely full. Camper vans and caravans.
Campers. Okay.
And this is what happened. If the barrier went up, that would stop it. I'm sorry, I must apologise, but
you would have waited till after close the meeting. We're literally in the middle of closing the meeting. I declare the meeting to thank you. Good night, everybody. Thanks for your attendance. Right, good evening everyone. Welcome to tonight's full Town Council meeting for Harwich. Firstly, I'd like to welcome all councillors, members of the public and press. I just want to inform everybody here that tonight's meeting is being filmed. If anybody objects to that, they need to leave, just to let you know anyway. Okay? Thank you. Right, moving on. You can ask the Reverend to take us all prayers.
Thank you. Time of quiet and reflection and prayer. God of love, the source of all goodness and peace, as we continue to commemorate World War I, we thank you for the heroism of so many people, in particular Captain Fryatt. We thank you for all who show bravery in the daily life, especially in caring for other people or facing the hardships of life with fortitude. May we build a good society on their foundations. We pray for our schools and all young people as they begin their holidays. Help us make our town one to be proud of, where young people can find a future and place to live. Bless our deliberations tonight. In your name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. As you know, we've had 2 former councillors, including a mayor, pass away most recently, sadly. So I'd ask you now just to have a moment or a minute of silence, just remember their service to the community and the loss to all of us. Thank you. Thank you for that respect. Before I go on to the agenda, I just remind you that item 15 has been withdrawn. So if you pass it over to the council, item 15 is withdrawn. Okay, item 1 on the agenda is apologies for absence, and to receive apologies for absence.
Apologies received from Councillor Erskine.
Thank you. Others? Moving on to item 2, declarations of members' interest to receive any pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest in relating to items on the agenda. Are there any? Moving on then, none. Item 3 is public questions. Questions pursuant to Standing Order 1E. Are there any? Etty?
Yes. In here, that Councillor Smith has requested the services of a community warden for East Ward. With all the councils trying to cut down on money from everywhere, I'd have thought with 16 councillors, 1 councillor from each ward could do the job without any expecting any money from TDC or anybody up for TDC.
In response to that, it's really a case of, I think, especially East Ward is a deprived area. Jaywick has a couple of community wardens. I mean, I did, on the agenda it's got down as East Ward. I would like to see more in the whole of Harwich, to be honest with you.
So do you think we're the same category as Jaywick?
This is the device. Can we not cross-check?
Oh, sorry.
You've asked a question, so I think that Councillor Smith will just give the answer that he feels should be the answer.
That's what I feel.
Thank you. Councillor Anderson?
There are already community wardens actually paid by TDC, and they already cover the parts attended, including Harwich. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about making sure that the amount of time is right to be spent in that area. And as a ward councillor who covers the Barside area, there are parts of Barside I think could do with some support. As other parts, and not just Jaywick, other parts of Tendring actually get. And if you knew what these community wardens did, they do an awful lot of work, good job, good work, and good support. I've seen them in action in other parts of the district, and they go well above and beyond the sort of duties they're asked to do, working with residents, helping them, I suppose, build back communities in some way and supporting each other. So it's quite a positive thing, and like I said, they already exist. We're just looking at, I think Councillor Smith's just looking at a way of making sure that their time is well spent on the areas that we need to get that support and to understand what they are actually doing. I'm looking forward to hearing what Councillor Smith's got to say later.
Thank you. I mean, obviously, this will be just, that will be on item 17 on the agenda, where I've got something to talk about.
Right. Thank you very much.
I have a supplementary.
Lots of
I have a supplementary to you. You asked a very good question.
Can I ask that members of the public do not speak? Thank you. This is a meeting.
I thought he just asked for public questions. Or were they over?
Is there a question?
There was.
Are you a resident of Harwich Town Council?
Yes, sir.
Of Harwich Town.
I've lived in Harwich for 25 years.
Thank you.
It was a supplementary
Is your
question.
question relevant to any items on the agenda?
Directly related to the answer given by the member to the lady sitting next to me. And I also have to draw your attention, Council Commission, to the fact I do hold a broadcast NUJ card, so I'm perfectly entitled to ask a question, and I stuck my hand up and asked for one. And you know this. And my supplementary question, if I'm allowed to ask it, was that one gentleman compared Harwich to Jaywick, and then went on to compare the Bath side to Jaywick. That appeared to be the answer. So is the view that Bath side is the comparable Jaywick in Harwich? Because that's not the Bath side I know.
Exactly.
This is a question. Well, I'm still waiting for the question. Councillor Tennyson, can you answer that?
I can answer that question. I did not say that. If you can run your film back, what I said there are areas within tendering that these community wardens cover, including Jaywick. And what I said to you was, as a ward councillor for the Bath side, I spend time over there, and I know there are particular issues and areas of Bath side that could do with that support that some of those community wardens offer to different parts of tendering. I am not saying comparing one area to another. I'm not getting into that discussion. What I am saying is these community wardens, the work they do within tendering, is very valuable work and very supportive to communities and helping them eventually support themselves.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Any other questions from members of the public? There being none, I'll move on to item 4, which is Mayor's announcements. Okay, the 12th of June, I welcomed 90 Mayflower school children at the Guildhall for a historic tour of our town's Guildhall, which they all thoroughly enjoyed. 21st of June, attended Felixstowe's civic service. 23rd of June, attended grassroots AGM in Colchester, and I will inform you that 4 of our local organisations received grants, which I've got a list here if anybody wants to have a look to see the organisations that actually received grants, because there was a question about on the 24th, I had a rather pleasant duty to perform, was to deliver the kitchels to 6 schools, and 3 of those were delivered by my deputy mayor. I trust she enjoyed that, giving out those kitchels to the school children. Can I say it was a much more relaxed experience than the past we've had, and it might be worth a look at to do it similar to that again, because it's an extremely rushed time to do it in that short period in the afternoon. Same again that evening, I attended the opening of the festival at the old Lloyd's Bank, then on to the LV18 for a concert, and the light ships switch on. And I think that's the first time they've ever been on since when it was in service, so that was quite an experience to see them going round properly as they did in the old days. It was extremely well attended and enjoyable during the 12 days of the festival, and me and my mayoress attended several of the events. Children's Carnival was a total success. Thanks to all concerned, read the festival. I think I already said it in the paper and on Facebook, etc. What an excellent job they really did to put on the book and all the, I don't know, must be about 30 events in there. And once again, a total success for the town. On the 30th, attended the Brass Band 10 years anniversary concert at Cliff Park. 1st of July, attended the Electric Palace showing live streaming of Carmen. And it was quite honestly realistic to the point that you filmed like bin. Is that fun?
as your town clerk had agreed we had ahead of time that nobody had time to come and help us come in and film. I'm really sorry, but we treated badly this evening. We now need to get a club to carry on.
Oh, sorry.
To carry on filming. It was rearranged.
Right now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, yeah, carrying on with the Electric Palace, the showing live streaming, that's something new to me, is they're actually streaming direct from London, is it the Coliseum? I think that's the theatre, and it's actually just like being there. And really, you get the close-ups of all the people playing the instruments, etc. It's really what an extremely good attraction it is for the town to do that. Right, 4th of July. Opened the Two Village School Fete with no dunking this time. Perhaps I should have done because it was so hot in my full garb as well. So next time, I'm not going to be thinking I'm going to be next time. Same evening, the Gospel Choir, I have to mention this, St Nick's truly uplifting the Gospel Choir. If you've ever heard of a Gospel Choir, they were the tops. Anyway, moving on. The 5th of July was the final concert of the festival. Again, congratulations to all. I can't emphasise the fact of all that work done and successful throughout. 10th of July, attended a Mayor's at Home, Ipswich Mayor's launch of his term. And it was an opportunity to meet many mayors, and it was a good contact meet-up. So, I've never seen so many change in my life, but it's a good contact attendance. 16th of July, this is last Thursday, attended the official launch of the Mayflower 400 project at Gainsborough's Old Hall. I'm going to do a brief report on that when it comes to brief reports on the remainder of the agenda. But it is so important to this town that we do support the Mayflower project. Okay, that's my announcements, thank you. Pam, have you got any?
I can bring up in brief reports by members if you want.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item 5 is minutes of the last meeting to approve as a true record the minutes, the confidential minutes of the meeting at Harwich Town Council held on the 10th of June. Have I got an approval on that? Thank you. Councillor Todd. Second, Councillor Brown. Those in favour, please show. Thank you, it's carried. Item 6 is matters arising from minutes of the last meeting, minute 1815, to receive update from Bernard Jenkin MP on application for... Pardon? An old version. Old. Item 6, seems like I've got an old version. I've got a new version now. Right, minute 17:15, under item 6 is to note response from Andrew Guildhall following further questions asked in relation to the future of All Saints House and to consider further action. Have you a speaker on that? Councillor Carver?
Yeah, if I may I ask Lucy, if you've got the letter there, could you read that please, because I think it's important in terms of context.
I do, yes.
Sorry, I should have mentioned that to you before.
That's quite all right. Which I've got the right one, yeah. Thank you for the letter dated 25th of June 2015, which raised the question about mental health services at All Saints House in Harwich. Following a period of both staff, public and stakeholder consultation, we as a trust have restructured our clinical services in line with our commissioning arrangements. Whilst we no longer have locality-based CMHTs, which are community mental health teams, thank you, we do have specialist community mental health teams who deliver services based on clinical need rather than geography. This provides a much more focused approach to care. We have streamlined access into services through a single team who also provide short-term interventions. We still have a whole range of services being delivered from All Saints House, including adults, older adults and children, but we don't have a single team based there.
Isn't that a lot of words? Unfortunately, it fails to answer the specific question asked. Now, when we debated this situation at our last meeting, we requested that Lucy write to them with a very precise question, and in fairness to Lucy, I hope she didn't think I doubted her, but I did ask her to read to me the letter that she sent, and she followed the instructions exactly. And we asked quite specifically, were any of the services now only being offered in Clacton, previously available in All Saints House? Now there's a lot of words there, but that isn't addressed. And I have to say, I think now we have to begin to believe that we are being misled, and that they seem to be going to a lot of trouble to answer us in a manner that avoids answering that question. The standard have tried to get an answer out of them, we've tried to get an answer out of them, and they are simply failing to respond to that specific point. To be honest, we are not talking about a commercial outlet here, Mr. Mayor. We're talking about public servants who are there to provide information, not spin. And increasingly, I'm being forced to the conclusion that they're spinning. It's clear they have no intention whatsoever of providing us with the answer to our questions. So I'd like to propose that we actually ask Bernard Jenkins to return the answer on our behalf. I believe he has been copied into the correspondence, hasn't he, Lucy?
That's right, yes.
But I'd like to propose that we write to him and say that we are, to be blunt, disgusted with the fact that they are totally failing to answer the specific point that we are asking of them, and would he please obtain an answer to that specific point on our behalf.
That's been seconded by Councillor Smith. Any other additions to that? We need the answer. So, those in favour, please show. That's more than unanimous. Thank you. Okay, 1815 is to receive an update from Bernard Jenkins MP on application for posthumous recognition of Captain Friar and to consider further action. Councillor Carter?
Yes, I'm near the chair. I think, Lucy, it'll probably be easier if I did this, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
thank you.
My pleasure. As probably all colleagues are aware, it's very disappointing that the request for a posthumous honour has been rejected. When Bernard Jenkins submitted the request on our behalf, he expected it to be quite a simple matter. And when he received the response from the senior civil servant within Whitehall who oversees such matters, rejecting it, he was not only surprised, he was unhappy with the response, so he actually took the matter up with 10 Downing Street. It was when 10 Downing Street asked for clarification that they found out something that none of us were aware of, and certainly Bernard Jenkins wasn't, that apparently in 1919 a posthumous honour was considered, and the decision was to award Captain Friar a state funeral instead. That decision having been taken at that time, of course, it would break every government protocol to now award him a posthumous honour. it's very disappointing. It does make sense. I have spoken with the family personally. They all, again, share our disappointment, but also completely understand how it has come about. And they have also placed on record their extreme gratitude both to the council and everybody within Harwich who has been supporting the campaign to try and get recognition in the centenary. Bernard Jenkins has certainly said that he still feels that we should be pushing for significant recognition of the centenary of the execution of Captain Fryer. He is willing to assist in this in certain ways. We are exchanging emails. I believe later on the agenda we have the reconstitution of the World War I Working Party, and I think that would be the appropriate manner to liaise with Bernard Jenkins and see what can be achieved. But that's the reason why it failed, and whilst it is disappointing, it does make sense.
Thank you, Chair, for that. Thank you for that explanation. Okay. Any other follow-ups to that? Thank you. Moving on then to minute 27/15 to note response from Councillor Linda McNeil-Williams and Dr Moore following concerns raised over the possible closure of the urology department at Colchester General Hospital. I think you all have a copy of the letter. Any comments? No one?
Only open to certain
That's
business,
all
it's not closing.
Well, yeah, that's right. That's right. It says it all, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. Right, minute 27:15 to note response from PCC Nick Halston regarding the future of Harwich Police Station and to consider further action. Have we any further action as a power?
Yeah, I was going to propose that we invite him to a meeting and get face to face with this, because information has been put out saying that he's against that police officers on the street, bodies on the street. I think it's a waste of time. I think we got to take to task now.
Right, is that a proposal with regards to...
My proposal at the last meeting was the police station is not that important, but the presence of the police are. Now he's said on television in the paper that he wants to do away with the police officer. So now we need to take the task over it.
Okay, if you want to put that as a proposal then,
yeah.
With regards to inviting to come along and give us reassurance.
Yeah.
We will take the comment with regards to the police station as one of those things. Okay, Councillor Henderson?
I believe that he makes his announcements in October on the what police stations are actually closing. So it would be good to actually get him here, if possibly before then, so he can hear our views and how we feel about things before he makes that final decision.
Did you want to draft something up now, or do you want to contact the clerk and draft something as to inviting him here? And would you not want to keep the police station as it is, getting rid of a major fault on the inside, that sort of thing? Right, well, Councillor Carver and then Councillor Morrison.
To be honest, I believe in Mr. Austin's response, he actually offers to come to a meeting with the Harwich Town Council. So, may I propose we invite him to attend the next meeting?
Yeah. Okay, let's agree on that one.
That's exactly what I'm going to say.
Okay, Councillor Smith then.
Just second that.
Okay, thank you. Those in favour, please show. Any other comments? No? Good, let's carry on. Thank you. Okay, moving on then to item 7, matters arising from minutes of previous meetings, minute 3114, to note receipt of information of the local charities which have benefited from the investment given to grassroots charities in 2004. I think you've been circulated this material, and I appreciate the fact that 4 organisations did in fact get grants this time, and the presentation of the AGM was at the North East that Harwich got quite a sum of money, £500,000. Okay, everybody happy with that? Okay, moving on.
Just a matter of information. previous minutes. The council will remember when Central District Council sent out requests for councils and parish councils and town councils to respond to a consultation on street lighting. Harwich Town Council did, and so did many other places. In actual fact, there was a full consultation, and there was, I think it was, there was about 309 responses, and about 203 of them were positively saying that people want their lights back on. And there was also, it was also stated that there was a 10,000 signatures petition to say that people wanted their lights back on until 5 o'clock in the morning and not 1 o'clock. And the money on the back of that, in response to that consultation, there was a decision to put the money aside to actually start the negotiations with Essex County Council to achieve that aim on behalf of the residents. What I can't understand is, and I think this is a waste of time in parish councils and town councils, given these responses, when it now appears we're now starting all over again, and we can ask people what their views are again, and what they want and what they don't want about these lights. It's been made very clear to the District Council what the residents want, overwhelmingly, and therefore I don't think there is a reason to hold another consultation. It's already known. And I think the only reason this consultation is being held is just to keep stalling things and holding back the decision that's already been made by a unanimous decision, by the way, by 10 district councillors at the district, and by this council, who sent that statement to Tendring District Council. And I just think that would be a good idea for this council to save any more time, that we just reaffirm that statement that exists prior to being contacted. That will just save more time for us getting back together and actually putting another statement together. It was a very good statement from the council that we made on behalf of the residents. I have it here. It says, Harwich Town Council has been unable to obtain evidence from the emergency service regarding the negative impact of PNL-SL, Parknight Street lighting, within the council's boundaries, but members are aware of the numerous incidents where having to work in darkness has seriously impeded the responsive times to incidents. Members of the public have reported to members of the council incidents such as watching a police car drive past the address to which it was heading because the officers could not identify the property in the dark, and there have been numerous reports of firefighters having difficulty in locating a fire hydrant during a serious blaze. This particular incident required houses to be evacuated, which was also made harder as a result of the street lights being out. Numerous incidents have been reported of local businesses being visited by police officers seeking footage from private CCTV cameras in the hope of identifying suspects following nighttime criminal activity, only for the footage to be of no value because it was too dark. Incidents have also been reported of burglars acting with apparent casualness while gaining entry to local shops, knowing that they would not be identified in the dark. Members have also been made aware of accidents that have occurred to local residents going to work in the early hours of the morning and not seeing potholes or uneven pavements as a result of Parknight Street lighting. There have also been many reports of reduced activities in local pubs, restaurants and community venues result from customers seeking to get home before the lights go out. Whilst members of Harwich Town Council accept that this information does not constitute documentary evidence, they state that the overwhelming amount of anecdotal evidence available via reports to them, reports in the local newspapers and reports published on social media outlets indicate that Parknight Street lighting is having a serious detrimental impact on the safety of residents within Harwich and Dover, and also a serious detrimental impact on the local nighttime economy. I think we should just go and get behind that again. That was what we already agreed, and I think that, like I said, I think this is just a delaying tactic, and rather than have to convene another meeting just to say what we've already said, which we might as well reaffirm it now.
Councillor Morrison?
Can I just ask a question there? So in the previous administration, it was agreed.
There was a consultation taking place with all the parish councils, all the town councils and the public, where they all went on the TDC's website, made their comments, all the parishes made their comments, and there was a vote taken unanimously in the district council on the back of that return consultation. And now we're now going back to do another consultation to ask people what they want again.
See, that's the part that I didn't understand. If it's been voted on and then passed, that's what they're going to do. Why is it being revisited? Because it's a different administration. No. Well, it is, but I mean, surely, if you voted on something on a previous administration, does it not stand for the following one?
Yes, it should do.
Thank you.
And
It
that
just
was,
answered the
that was the
question.
directive of the leader, and the leader's now come back and said he wants another consultation.
So much for democracy then, okay?
With folk on the well and all that.
Okay, thank you for that, Councillor Henderson. Are there any other matters arising from the previous one?
Well, hang on, if I was proposing that we reaffirm that as our position, I'm happy to second it.
Okay, fine. Those in favour then please show that we reiterate the comments already made. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, moving on to item 8. Can I welcome Mr. John Clay from the Harwich Community Consortium, who's going to give us an update with regards to what the aims are. Would you like to take a stand at where the computer is, the laptop, so we can all see you? I think you've got some handouts. Would you like some handouts?
Yeah, I didn't do that, so I do intend to talk to a document like
Oh yes, yeah.
I think the clerk has put round today. But if you want hard copies of that, you can send it as well.
Okay, the floor is all yours.
So,
The floor is all yours.
thank you. While this is going around, can I just thank you for giving me the chance to come to this meeting to, as the SS, to give you an update on the Harwich Community Consortium, which I suspect you all know something about. So I don't intend at all today to talk in detail or for any length of time. But I certainly would be interested in any comments you may have, any questions you may have, and in particular, I suppose any ideas you may have about how you, or the council as a whole, can help us take forward our vision. And the vision essentially is that by all the organisations in Harwich working together, we feel we can be more successful in improving the lives of the young people who live in Harwich or the surrounding area. I think by young people I mean anyone from 0 to 25. So all I've done on this document is, having established this consortium a year ago, we then established a steering group which oversees the work of the 5 subgroups mentioned toward the top of the page. The members of the steering group I've given you there on the bottom half of page 1 and throughout page 2. So it does cover, it certainly covers schools, but it covers organisations like Team Talk and Home Start, the founding members really of the consortium, and really any or most other organisations that are interested in working with young people. This particular text is the text of a website that will become live in the next week or so. On that website, when you click on the name of an organisation, it will take you to that website. And I have put down there Harwich Town Council. Now, there isn't, in that sense, very much about young people on your website. Not saying there should be, but there isn't. So that phrase about you being an active partner is something I invented, but you might want to choose your own wording for it. If you do, it should go live in about 4 months' time. And with your permission, we'll link directly as well to your own town council website. We meet monthly as a steering group. The town council rep is obviously Councillor Henderson. We have, at the bottom of page 2, we have established and agreed a memorandum of understanding. So that does allow us, and we're in the process of doing this now, that does allow us to put in a bid for funding to the big lottery funding, Sport England and so on behalf of the consortium. And we are in the process of doing that. The subgroups are very briefly mentioned on the last page. Mental health you perhaps already touched on, but we have organised 2 events already. The feedback from them was very successful. We were trying to give parents of children in primary schools and in secondary schools some advice about mental health issues, ranging from food disorders to exam stress. What we're now doing, I hope this was partly done this afternoon in the meeting I had to miss, we're now putting together a bid for a year-long action plan to try to address mental health issues amongst young people in the area. The first of those I mentioned there, tendering mental health support. They've agreed to run a workshop, a course, for adults who work in secondary schools initially. Now, the Harwich Town High School is keen to be part of that. And when we mean adults, we mean possibly teachers, possibly teaching assistants, or, to be frank, perhaps dinner leaders, who may, in their role, see the onset of mental issues more than perhaps other people in the school. So we'll have a meeting in September to arrange that. It will run early in the autumn term. Family support is really trying to bring together the organisations that currently work very well in Harwich and the surrounding areas. Henningfield and Team Talk are 2 obvious examples. I think what's come out of that at the moment is better communication. Because I think Councillor Henderson, you're on the Team Talk group, and certainly Hayley was saying that where a case study is held, where information is thought, the charities like Team Talk often are not involved in that discussion, whereas they may have key information regarding that child or that young person or that family. And we've at least now established a network where the Family Solutions team, which I think is based in Clapton but does work in Harwich, is now sharing information with the charitable organisations in the town. So step 1. I'm also looking, when we meet on Friday, at the possibility of a big lottery bid on behalf of the consortium to see if we can add some funding to improve that family support even further. Education, training and employment. When we first started this, we had an open meeting with a large number of young people. Initially from the Harwich Town High School, but afterwards with primary children. One of the concerns that the Harwich students had was that the school itself was not offering sufficient courses. Where they wanted to stay in Harwich, very often the course wasn't there for them. That's being addressed. The Harwich Town High School is already extending that provision. And the latest meeting we had, we identified a lack of apprenticeship vacancies in Harwich. If you go to the gov.uk website, with 2,000 in Essex, there are something like, I've got 8 in Clapton, even 4 in Manningfield. There isn't a single vacancy in Harwich. Now, okay, quite a few of the Harwich young people may move to Colchester to take the apprenticeship up, because there's a lot there. But one would hope that Harwich itself could offer something. And that's going to push in September. we are totally dependent on local businesses. So if you have any contacts with local business people, try and twist them on or encourage them. I know how difficult it is for small business, I do accept that. If you're employing 1 or 2 people, you probably don't need an apprentice as well. But I think there is a perception of apprenticeships about it being much more time consuming for the business than perhaps realistically it is. And I think Harwich Town Council met with Career Track last week with the possibility of taking on an apprentice for the council. I wish, and there isn't one now at Teesside.
I think the clerk, we had was that just a student, wasn't it, work experience, I think?
That was something
Something
different.
different.
We've had initial discussions.
Debbie Ann messaged was saying she was hoping to come along and talk to you about the possibility. No more than
That's
that.
correct. Yeah.
It'd be good if we could.
Actually, got a question?
Just to point out to the council that under an apprenticeship scheme, the salary that the employer pays is £2.60 an hour. So anybody living in the Harwich area who wishes to travel to Colchester to do it, they've spent their money before they've got there and therefore won't be able to achieve. So it is key that it is done locally for people that want to stay locally.
Well, you've got the media here, so hopefully that's taken note.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. I think, I'm not totally sure, I think the government is thinking of putting it at £3.30. Even so, the same issue would apply.
2020, thank you. And again,
So furthermore, potentially we could assist us as a council with this by, you know, in such cases as affording a bus pass of some kind. It is within our remit, is it not, to consider special cases for youngsters that want to develop, and, you know, perhaps we could assist as a council in that arena for youngsters to develop their life. Just a thought that we could put out there.
some sort of travel.
Yeah.
If you could, that'd be very good, because I've heard firsthand about some several Harwich young people that by the time they pay the bus fare or whatever, they're working for free if they have to travel conscious.
Again, these are things that can be sort of looked at, but if we're allowed to do it, perhaps we consider it. I can't answer for something we don't really know.
So maybe if as we develop this rollout or this publicity, maybe if I keep the clerk informed, she can keep you informed. Housing, we're not moving on, as probably you'd expect. NAPRA have identified their current building, is it Peeps? It's really not suitable, and I understand they're now having to move out of that at the end of this month. So we do have a serious situation with housing for young and homeless people. Recreation facilities, we did talk with your own town council group to see if the consortium can, through the speaking route, to see if it can put a bid in to find the remaining money you need for the skate park.
As well, so we've set up a working party, and we've had a meeting, and it's...
And we've invited the people who planned your original skate park back in to make sure that the cost, if you like, is more accurate or still up to date. So they probably did that some time ago, the original cost.
4 years. No, about 3.5.
So we'll see if the consortium can help HTC out now, because again, it was one of the things that young people felt was desperately needed in the town. And that's more or less it for me. So if you do have any questions or queries or ideas.
Questions or ideas? Anybody volunteer on that one? But,
Yeah, I'd just like to say to John, from sitting on the team or committee on behalf of the council to bring back informed councillors on the work they do. Obviously, as a council, we did help to fund the instrumental meeting of getting all these groups together, and I think it's really proven that it's worked, and you are all working together now. And I think there were so many little pockets where everybody was doing their own thing, but it was not necessarily doubling up, but I just think there's other people that can help other people, and I think you've really proved that that's working well, and it's really, from my point of view, sitting on that committee, I know Team Talk are really happy with the way things are going. It's really good.
That's good. And the other councillor Henderson, you also mentioned the possibilities that a youth council to underline the link with the town council and young people.
We said we would look to consider that, but we were getting feedback from Team Talk that they'd already got sort of groups and committees already in place which actually have a similar effect. But did you tell us, John, that there might be a possibility that we can perhaps work closer with them as a council included them in some of our
what I often do discussions with the council wonders is that certainly Team Talk, certainly the ARC Centre for Younger Children, certainly the Harwich Local High School, they already have youth councils or youth forums. I know the Team Talk one is very effective. So I was talking to Hayley the other day, and we were saying perhaps we could put forward a suggestion to the council, if you wanted to go down that route, as to how we can link in or coordinate those groups that currently exist into whatever you want as a town council. So we can certainly do that.
I think that's worth a discussion.
Absolutely.
I think it's more than worth a discussion. I think we should really seriously look at that.
Okay, well,
encourage that.
Because I talk with a few people, I'll give you a possible payback to talk about.
One of the things like you said, John, is that a lot of this information and the direction you're getting has come from young people and they've had surveys done and things that they want done. It would be good to have that connection so we can pick up on some of those things that we can do for support in the future. I think that would be a good idea for us to have a discussion as council. Could I ask you a question? Because a lot of this, sorry Chair, a lot of this in here is obviously, a lot of the things you're doing is evidence-based, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like when you're talking about mental health, it's evidence-based, isn't it? And these are not just things, these are things that these individual groups have brought to the table and things that we need to seriously look at and consider how we support and work with them to achieve the aims that we need to achieve. Yeah.
I think it's very exciting. Could I check this answer one question we came here? Is the ARC Centre is now involved. I'm meeting with Claire, whatever it is, on Friday this week. What I'm not sure though is whether Claire wants to be involved in the steering group or simply go to a meeting. If she wants to be involved in the steering group, then we'll add the ARC Centre to it.
Councillor Brown?
I'd just like to briefly sort of follow up what Councillor Henderson said, how good it is to see that at last we've got an organiser, and particularly obviously John and his team, to pull all the little groups together so that they actually work as in unity. In the past, it was like a little box here and a little box there, all trying to do their best, but as a complete unit, it looks as though it's got fantastic possibilities because of the strength of every little group within the community all working together. And I think that's the key to your consortium, really.
It's going very well.
Yes.
You said at the start that it's very much down to Team Talk, Homestar and HEP to actually start this.
Yes.
But as a pensioner with not much else to do, I can try and bring it all down.
I've got to say, as a parent, I attended the event you did in Wharf. I can't remember the time, and I found that really, really useful. And that was targeted at parents for young people who are making that next step up to secondary school, wasn't it? Preparing them.
That was the first one to go. That was the problem.
It was a really good event, and again, the support we do there, we came to talk to parents and give them that advice.
The feedback, Chairman, was very good. I think everyone felt it went very well. The only disappointing bit to it was relatively few parents turned up. And I think maybe there's something wrong with our PR, which the gentleman over there may be able to address the next time.
Okay, is there any other comments or any questions to go forward to John? John, I think I'll reiterate Councillor Brown's sentiments with regards to thank you so much for creating this possibility for advancement of our town. I think that's
I'd also welcome the possibility to come back occasionally and update you again on where we're
brilliant, yeah, absolutely. Bring some kids.
Well, that's what we may do. That's all right.
Okay, thank you so much, John. Now, I do your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, and this recording.
Okay, item 9 is request for use of the red telephone box and to consider a request from a resident of Guildhall to make use of the former telephone kiosk at St Helens Green